In this video, we're creating Dice-osaurs. Hey everyone, welcome to another Monty Plonk art class where we use simple tricks to make fantastic pics. All you need for this video is some colouring pens, pencils or crayons. I'm going to use pens today, including a black, some plain paper and a dice. Dice-osaur. Dice-osaurs are where we roll a dice to create our very own wacky and crazy dinosaurs. Really good fun. We can create our own dinosaur, which is going to, I promise you, look different to any other dinosaur you've ever seen. So we start with folding our paper. Now, there is a technique to this. I simply fold it over widthways. So we create a divide, and I'll fold that back out, you can see there, and then we're going to fold this into thirds. Now I'm going to roughly, and again it doesn't have to be perfect, but fold either one side, left or right, doesn't matter, but fold the paper so that the shape that you create is pretty much the same shape as what you've got here. So can you see this piece here that I've just folded over looks very similar to this one. So then when we fold it over, look, we're going to get, roughly speaking, the same size back. Okay, so if I unfold that, we've now got 3 roughly squares here. And if I fold it out, we've now got 6. Okay, so the reason that we're using these 6 squares all relates to our dice that we're going to be using in a minute. Now, you can tell by the paper, it sort of folds out a little bit. I find it easier that, in fact, if you turn it over and have the folds sort of leaning down onto the table, you can create a slightly easier surface in which to draw. So there's our paper, and we've got our squares up here. Now I'm going to use a marker. Now I'm going to roughly put that on there. I'm going to create, or just write a number in the corners here because I just want it as a quick reference. So I'm going to put 1 there, 2 there, 3 there, and then in the bottom here, in fact, 4, 5, and you guessed it, 6. Now they relate to each square. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So with our dice, if we were to roll a 1, we will end up here. If we're to roll a 2, where is it there? We're in this square, and likewise. Now each square depends on, cut that. So thinking. Excuse me. Okay, so there are 3 parts that we're going to draw. We're going to draw 1, the head of the dinosaur, 2, the body of the dinosaur, and 3, the legs of the dinosaur. Now we can play this up a little bit. We could put some wings on maybe, but generally speaking, we're going to start with, okay, cut that. So there's 3 parts of the dinosaur that we're going to create. 1 is the head, 2 is the body, and 3 are the legs. Now, it is all dictated by the dice. So wherever the dice rolls, whatever number it rolls, that's where we're going to start with putting the head. And then we're going to roll it again, and we're going to put the body in that square, and then we're going to roll it again, and we're going to put the legs in. We're going to join it up. And believe me, it ends up looking pretty wacky. You can use a black if you like. I think I'm going to use a purple. It's at the top of my colours there. So I'm going to use a purple to draw the dinosaur, and let's find out what happens. So you've got your square, we've got a dice. Let's roll. 3, 2, 1. All right, number 1. So that's quite straightforward. Okay, so I'm going to put that up there. So we're going to draw the head of the dinosaur in this square here. Now, considering the head is here, I'm assuming the neck is going to be around here somewhere. I mean, it might end up being over here. We'll have to see where the body ends up. But I'm going to draw it over here. So dinosaurs tend to have this sort of, they're quite often drawn with quite a large top of the head. So I'm going to go sort of like this and then go around. And then I'm going to go down. And I'm just going to sort of pop out the shape there. Now, I'm going to draw the eye, and I'm going to draw the mouth. My dinosaur is going to be smiling. Okay, quite a happy looking dinosaur so far. Again, we're going to put in some more details later. We can do some spike, we can do some crazy teeth, we can do lots of little things there, but if I'll give a little nostril there as well, look. Okay, so we're going to roll again, see what we end up with. 6, okay. Right, so this is where the body's going to go. And remember, we've got to do the legs somewhere. So I'm assuming we're going to end up with a very long neck here. So let's draw the body. Now, don't worry about connecting at the moment. We're just sort of going to create the body, but we need to create a bit of space for where the neck's going to go and maybe where the leg's going to go. So what body are we going to do? Because if the legs are up there, I'm gonna use sort of this part here, look, and I'm just going to create a very simple body. I'm just going to leave it at that, because the legs might end up wrapping right up here. They might end up here. They might end up down here. They might just be here or here. But again, it doesn't really look like a body at the moment. But when we connect it all up, it will. So I'm going to roll once more. 1. Oh, well, we've already got the head in 1, so we're going to re-roll. 3. Okay. Right. So this is where the legs are going to go. This is going to be pretty wild. So how are we going to do that? So are we going to have the legs bending around here? Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. Unless this is the body and it's sort of an upside down dinosaur. We're going to have to do the legs on the bottom. So the legs need to extend here. So maybe they're bendy. Let's do the first one. Let's just see how it goes. We're going to draw 4, I think. Okay. That looks like a bit of a tail. 1. Maybe we could just have 2 legs. Maybe 2 makes a bit more sense. Maybe we can wrap this one up, and if we create a bit of a bump there and wrap that up. I mean, that looks pretty wild. Now, we've got our body there. We've got our head there. Now we need to connect the 2. So it's got a super long neck, which we just sort of extend all the way down. What is this dinosaur that you've created? I told you we're going to create a dinosaur that you've never seen. That is a wild looking dinosaur. We're going to fill in some details, and actually what's good to think about, because I'm also going to name it, I'm going to write it down here. We'll come up with some fancy name. You know, a lot of dinosaurs have fancy names. Well, we're going to create our own as well. So there's the outline of my dinosaur, yet to be named. Hasn't got any arms yet. Now, should we pop some arms on? Should we do those tiny little arms? I think, see, for this dinosaur, it's a lot in the neck and it's a lot in these 2 legs. So maybe it's sort of a swimming dinosaur. It looks like it's a bit of a swimming action. Like your legs can come up there. Otherwise, it's just walking on its tough knees. That could be a design, couldn't it? Obviously, your roles might have turned out very different to mine. So it's not about creating the same as me. But with your own wacky, crazy looking dinosaur, you can start colouring and put in some detail. So I'm going to put in some arms. And I'm going to say, look, this one is swimming. it's in the sea, it looks quite smooth, so it's going to have some tiny little arms. Should they go that way or should they go that way? Up and down. Let's just do that, okay? Tiny arms there. And I'm going to sort of create a bit of a web action there, okay? You can't really see the other one, it's behind. Create a little detail there. So there we are. So we've got an arm sticking out there. We've got the legs here, now the feet as well. So maybe we can create again a sort of similar sort of web look. So maybe this dinosaur began on land. Decided, oh, I've had enough of land, I'm going to pop into the sea. So there we go. Now, are we going to create spikes on it? I'm not sure. I think maybe we could have more of a, we could have sort of used this neck really to create some design. Maybe it could be a little bit more wavy on the back. It doesn't necessarily need to have that sort of same level of aggression. Something like that. Yeah, and I quite like that. What other details could we do? Maybe we could do some dots, or maybe like a sort of a similar, like scales to like a fish, for instance. So if we create some shapes here, sort of like gills, aren't they? Yeah, I quite like that. That's good. Right, so should we fill out some other details? I was going to go for a blue. Let's see. Let's have a look. What colours have I got? Let me bring it in. What do we think? This colour? This looks quite nice. It's fishy. Now I'm just going to, I think, just outline some of the details that I put in. I'm not going to colour in the whole picture. Please feel free to do so. We've got a little bit more time. They sort of look quite nice, don't they, those colours? In fact, let's connect all these up and bring it in. It's quite a nice way that you can pop in some colour into your drawing. And it still looks quite neat without having to colour in the whole picture, but again, don't worry about having to be neat at all. Just knock it out. Have fun. Well, it comes way down there. Oh. Yeah, just create a bit of an outline here. I think this little bit here, this little detail I'm going to do, in fact, I'm going to do a different colour here, maybe greeny. Maybe I'll just do the bottom half, so maybe it can actually, oh, here we go, maybe that's a good idea. So maybe it starts like sort of an orangey down here. Maybe it sort of transitions into maybe darker, so maybe go slightly darker orange, and then maybe, what do we think? I do not know. Orange, and then it could go lighter. Orange and then pink. What do we think? Does that sort of work? Let's go for it. So I'm going to put, let's pop that over there. So maybe again similar to here. Yeah. See, so we've got this sort of transition of colour here, and then we end up with the pink over the top. Woo, woo, woo. Well, that's nice. They're lovely colours, aren't they? They look great together. Yeah, well, this is fun. And then we can go over some of the details here. Bring that up. So it looks like it's got lips. Dinosaurs have lips? Who knows? Yeah, one of those. I'm bringing this down to here. Bring this up here. Bring that around there. And then down. Sort of roughly to there. Just feeling a little bit of detail there. Go to the eye. Might do the eye slightly different colour maybe. We'll see in a sec. Let's go back to our select dark orange. The surface orange hasn't really been used. And it just goes to there. Stop. And then back to our original colour. Where have I put that? Was it that one? Yes, so I've got some that look quite similar. Yeah, sometimes you do that. Go back and go. Let's find out. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, that was the same to me. Okay. Bring that around. Again, if you are colouring it all in, fantastic. Please don't feel you have to use this sort of colouring technique I'm doing today. Really do what you like. Those arms look crazy, don't they? I feel like there should be something over there, but there isn't. Okay, I'm going to actually just pick up this blue, and you know what? It's not the blue. There is another colour here. This is one I like. I'm going to use. Should I go around? I'll go around the outside. There we go. All right. I like the colours. That's fab. Maybe we could do a little bit of design on the neck here. What do we think? Let's go back to our purple. See, again, look, I've got some of these colours on. I'm not helping myself out there. Where is it? There it is. Let's go back. So the purple was, so you remember what we drew in originally. Maybe I can extend or do something similar here. If we use that for each colour. It feels like a little bit more detail, doesn't it? It sort of gives this motion, the waviness. Looks pretty fun. Again, haven't learned from my own mistakes. Keep putting my pens back in with the others. We did it on the inside, didn't we? So. All right. There we go. There we go. Here we are. Now we could sort of give a bit of an impression that it's in the sea. We're going to do a little bit of just a little bit. Just a little brush. Another way orange. There we go. So you're just surrounding it. And again, if you've got more time, feel free to fill it all in. Okay, there we are. So it's swimming. It's sort of trying to front crawl there. I think the power's all in these legs, surely. I mean, this looks quick, I've got to say. So, going back to, I've left this space blank because I want to name our dinosaur or Dice-osaur. What are we going to call it? So it swims, definitely. Swims, long legs, saurus. Right. So I'm going to call this a swimmy long-leggy Swimmy-Long-Leggy-Sours. I'm checking my spelling. I'm not very good at spelling. Apologies if someone out there is saying, you've spelled that wrong. Apologies. Swimmy-Long-Leggy-Sours. Swims, and it's got long legs. Yay! Thank you for joining this Monty Plonker art class. Please remember to like and subscribe. Leave your comments below, and I'll see you in the next video.